Well, I didn't think I'd be doing one of these so soon into Street Fighter V Arcade Edition's lifespan, but what is going on, guys? HC Jam is here, back with another Street Fighter V video, and surprise, yes, you guessed it, it's going to be another balance change video, talking about R.Mika's changes that just recently dropped for Street Fighter V. So I believe this is Street Fighter V Arcade Edition 3.5, whatever you want to call it. The game's got new balance changes, and I'm going to be going over R.Mika's ones because, well, they should be made abundantly clear by now from the website because they're not hard to decipher, but a lot of people do ask for video examples, and I'm going to be here to provide you with that information. And I will be doing that in my new Monster Hunt outfit as well, so this is going to be an interesting video. So hopefully it won't take too long. So let's, without further ado, let's get straight into it. So just double check my stick is ready to go, because I know my stick has a few problems, but we'll try and get through this quickly and as succinctly as possible. So yeah, first of all, yes, this is a very interesting change. I don't know why Capcom done it, but they have done it. The damage on Rainbow Typhoon, Mika's Giant Swing Command Grab, has increased across the board for all versions, and they've increased via 10 hit points. So basically, the Rainbow Typhoon, the light version, used to do 170 damage. Now it does 180 damage, I believe. Yes, it does. The medium version will go from 180 to 190 damage. Yes, right there. The heavy version will do 200 damage now, which is pretty good. And of course, the one that everyone was looking forward to, the EX version, now does 240 damage points. I mean, I found this to be an unorthodox change because 220 damage for a command guy is pretty decent for me, and for most cases, it did kill, but now when you land the EX command grab, I think it's guaranteed to kill now. The stun remains the same, it still does 250, just the damage is increasing. And remember, let us not forget that, you know, a couple months ago, 2 months ago, Capcom increased the damage via 10 anyway, from 220 to 230. Now they've done it again. So when you do the V-skill power-up for this attack as well, I believe, if my maths is correct, it should do just under 290 damage. So that's more than what the Season 1 damage was. So I think that's a good change, or that's good for us in terms of damage-wise. So yeah, it does 288, so just under 290, and that's just with the regular power-up. Obviously, you know, the bigger the better. So if we get one charge on the reverberation of the microphone, I think it'll do like 320, maybe a little bit more. I could be wrong. Yeah, 360. That's even better. But you're rarely going to get to that situation anyway. So yeah, that's the basic change. Sorry, that's the easiest one to go through because it's just a damage increase on the Rainbow Typhoon. So when you do land this grab, for the most part, it's going to be for stun, optimal meter build, or just for the kill. But, you know, other people are like, why didn't you change Brimstone? Brimstone's good enough as it is, in my opinion, but it doesn't. They don't want to change that one because of what it does, how beneficial it is towards Mika. They've only changed the Rainbow Typhoon one, and it looks like Capcom like watching Mika just giant swing people all over the place. But yeah, all right. So the next change, this is an interesting one, and this was a very vague definition, but it actually wasn't hard to figure out. I mean, a lot of the Mika players already knew what it meant. I did, but the way they worded it could have been better. So it's a heavy shooting Peach change. So what they said is they changed the performance when performed as a cancel from Lady Mika. So what that basically means is, from Season 2 to Arcade Edition, they've made Forward Hard Punch special cancelable. They've made Lady Mika special cancelable and V-Skill cancelable as well. So that's a good change. Now, what they didn't do before was you could cancel into Heavy Shooting Peach, but you couldn't. It didn't connect. That's what it didn't do before. Now, as you saw just there, it now connects as a combo. So this is actually pretty cool. Again, another weird change, but I mean, look, it's a buff, a damage buff, and it helps for nice little combo extensions and little situations here and there. So what you couldn't do in Arcade Edition, the vanilla version, you couldn't combo forward heavy punch into the heavy shooting Peach, but now Capcom have made that possible. So that does 170 damage. So when you do land a crush counter forward fierce, that's what people are going to be looking out for. You get to do about 230 damage. That's not bad, and what that means is you don't have to do forward fierce into EX shooting Peach for corner carry, and you'll lose Oki. Now that heavy shooting Peach connects, you actually get the Oki as if you done it from a normal combo. So you'll get there, you dash out. I think you're like, whoa, you're plus 20. Yeah, no, it's the same frame data. So you get a meaty setup after that combo, basically, and that's pretty good. I mean, you could do that on... You couldn't do that before. You could get Oki off a heavy shooting peach before, but having another situation or a combo route into heavy shooting peach is always good. For bigger, for better. I think this is a very fun change for Mika, so I'll be very curious to see what myself and the rest of the Mika community come up with for that change. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Change the performance when performed as a cancel from Lady Mika. It basically is saying forward hard punch, you can forward hard punch into heavy shooting peach, it connects now. That's what they should have said. I don't know why they worded it so hard. Right, so the next change, this is the one that everyone was worried about. It was the crouch medium punch change, and it basically says increase the horizontal blowback distance from a mid-air hit. So the first thing that Mika players asked is, wait, so does that mean my mid-screen resets are affected? So I'm going to show an example of a mid-screen reset. So I'm going to do crouch medium kick into V trigger 1, EX shooting peach to go for a reset. And we're going to see if we can get the cross on there. It's been a while since I've done this, so bear with me. Right. Bear with me. Do I get it? There you go. Right. So that's what people were worried about. Can they still do that? And I've done it off the bat first time. So that remains there. They haven't affected that. You can still do that. It's completely fine. You still get your 50-50 mid-screen. I can't do it now. Don't know why I can't do it now. Yeah, you still get your 50-50 mid-screen, so you don't have to be worried about that. It's completely fine. And also, like, when you do the forward hard punch into... Well, let me take the counter hit off, sorry. When you do forward hard punch in the corner into crouch medium punch, you know, that's still there. You can walk under. It's completely fine. So for that aspect of the move, crouch medium punch has not changed. What I think they meant they done it for, which I haven't actually seen anyone do this scenario just yet. I should have a recording. Have I got Mika to do a jump in attack? Yes, I do. Okay, so what I think it meant was when you do this, when you do a crouch medium punch anti-air and you hit the opponent from, if they like, are slightly behind you, which I keep missing it now, they've just pushed the opponent, when the air, sorry, let me get this right. When the opponent's in an airborne state and they're getting pushed back in front of you, or they're getting, put back in the position in front of you, it's not as, they pushed it further out, basically. So I think they're trying to eliminate a sort of 50-50 situation from an anti-air scenario or anti-air crouch medium punch scenario. So before, I think you can still do it now actually, it depends on where you're angled, but before you could actually do this, crouch medium punch, get a nice walk under, and then get 50-50. Stay in front, go behind, whatever. I think you can still do it here, but I'm just sucky at it right now. No? Okay, maybe not. So I'm being mad inconsistent with that at the moment, but it should... okay, my medium punch didn't come out there. I really want to show this. I'm not going to dash. I don't want to dash. I want to walk under, because you were able to walk under to make it more ambiguous. But yeah, they just basically increased the horizontal blowback mid-air on here. I can't do it because I'm absolutely sucky, but I'm pretty sure you can do it. But yeah, it's just I think it's just using it as an anti-air in a neutral situation. They don't want to create more 50-50 situations or unnecessary 50-50 situations for Rainbow Mika. I mean, it's not as if they haven't done that already. That is what the character is based off. But yeah, that's covering that change. This is going to be like, this is not a very long video because there's not many changes they've done to the character, but this next change here, this will be the last change I'm going over. This is basically the crush counter system change and how it affects Mika. So when you land a crush counter, the combo scaling has increased. So I don't know if you lot remember, I'll leave my previous Mika balance changes video in the description below, talking about Mika's changes from Season 2 to Arcade Edition. One of the universal changes that affected her really hard was the fact that when you do a normal into V trigger, the combo scaling increased. So you do less damage than you did in the previous iteration of Street Fighter 5. But now what they've done is they've kind of taken that change and they've applied it to crush counters. So what it is now is when you land a crush counter, you don't get as much damage as you did before. So if I do an example, I believe someone actually set up this example, so apologies if I do get it wrong. When you land a crush counter stand hard kick and get this combo, that does 291 damage. Now I am definitely certain that did over 300 damage before. I think it was 315 or 316 damage if we want to be mad finicky and precise. But it now does less than 300 damage, which is reasonable. I'm not particularly fussed about it because when I land, for me personally, when I land a crush counter move and I'm going for a meterless follow-up, if it gets around 300 damage, so maybe like what, 280 to maybe 270 to maybe 310, I class that as decent damage. And obviously the screen positioning varies from character to character, but 291 damage is not bad. The scaling, it's not a heavy impact in my opinion, but it is a change. It's a substantial change for the game, probably a you know, a small change for characters individually. It depends on what your crush counter combos were, but this does affect Mika. When you do forward fierce into forward fierce, this Extreme Peach 251, they used to do over 270 damage before, so that's been toned down. If you do forward fierce into that is 288. They used to do over 300 damage. So there's been changes to, or the damage has been reduced, and there's definitely been changes across the board. So that's just been basically what they've done to Rainbow Mika. Ultimately, what's my opinion on this? So again, I wasn't expecting this change or these balance changes to happen, not into Mika but to the game. But you know, due to, you know, the lamentation and the complaints about this game, Capcom acted kind of fast, or they actually expedite this process really quickly. So it's a thing where you just have to adjust to what the changes are and get used to it. And again, individually, for Rainbow Mika, these changes are pretty interesting. I think they're more fun changes. Whether they'll be like a huge benefit to her in the long run, well, we have to wait for the CPT season to rock out, see if it works. But they're buffs, they're not nerfs. They're cool changes. Well, I wouldn't even class the crouch medium punch change as a nerf, really. You can still do your resets of V-Trigger 1, and ultimately this is what I was worried about, because the changes are not so quote unquote severe. You don't have to change whatever you're learning with Rainbow Mika now. It hasn't changed. You can still continue your philosophy of learning how to play this version of Rainbow Mika and progress on throughout this year or this version of the game. Because sometimes when we're going back to Season 1, Season 2 here, Mika players had to change their philosophy entirely. That doesn't have to happen, or that's not happening here. Capcom have just given you a few extra tools to work with and to have more fun with the character. So that's basically it. So yeah, we talked about, you know, just to summarize what we've talked about today in this video. Hopefully it has been insightful and useful to you. I mean, you guys are probably on the update now having fun. But we talked about Rainbow Typhoon damage increase. That's been pretty good, pretty beneficial in my opinion. It was a fun change as well. Heavy Shooting Peach has changed. So basically, forward hard punch, special cancelled into Heavy Shooting Peach. It now works as a combo, and that's actually super beneficial for when you land a crush counter forward hard punch. So you guys definitely want to be practicing that in your crush counter combos. The crouch medium punch changed. You know, increased the horizontal blowback distance for mid-air hit. Not much has changed. I think it's a very subtle change. Not much has changed. You can still do your V-Trigger 1 resets mid-screen and whatnot. But hey, it's for the better, I guess. It's Capcom's game, not mine. And the CC system change, the crush counter system change. Just a slight damage reduction across the board, not only for Mika, but for everybody else in the game. But yeah, that's going to be it. Hopefully you guys have found this video enjoyable and insightful, with video examples as well, because I know reading it is one thing and actually having examples is another. I only talked about the changes that were imperative to what I found imperative for Mika players. So hopefully, if I've missed anything, I'm sure Mika players or anyone else will let me know in the chat. I'll leave the correct information or the actual changelog notes in the description, along with the Mika Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition, the original balance changes, in the description below if you haven't seen that, so you want to know what's changed. But yeah, continue what you're doing with Rainbow Mika, continue having fun. You've just been given a few extra tools. Sorry for this, you know, elongated tangent I'm going on, but yeah. If you want to follow me on, if you enjoyed the video and you want to subscribe, you're more than welcome to. The subscription button is down below. If you don't want to subscribe, it's not the end of the world. We can go about a day. If you want to follow me on my other following social media outlets, Twitter and Twitch, they are in the description below. All the necessary info will be in there. This has been your boy HC Jammers, and I will see you guys on the next Street Fighter 5 video. So until then, take care everybody, and enjoy the rest of your day.